Hello everyone and welcome to Whisky Wednesday. It is unusual that I thought we would ever be able to do this because of what this is. This is Daftmill. For those of you that aren't aware, where have you been for the last sort of 4 years? We're going to be straight out and open about this entire situation because a lot of people get quite intense when they realise that they've been, whiskey reviewers have been given a bottle of whiskey for free. I work for the company that bottled this. I work for the Whisky Shop. The W Club is part of the Whisky Shop. This was an exclusive for the company. I was gifted a bottle of it, which I was overwhelmed with. But as a result, we're going to review it. We're going to give you the honest score. We're going to tell you everything we can about it. And then we're going to give the rest of the bottle away. And for anyone in the future that gives us free bottles of booze, we're just going to give the rest of it away because I can still give an honest score even with someone who employs me giving me a bottle. This is already sold out. It was a ballot exclusive. This is only the second Daftmill I've ever tried, so I don't have a huge range of variation to do this in terms of thinking about comparing all of the single casks that have been bottled. This is the first single cask Daftmill I've tried. The other one was the summer 2019 release or something like that. I can't really remember. It was lovely. Whereas this is bottle 187 of 216 of an exclusive single barrel for the W Club. It's a 14-year-old single malt from the Lowlands in Fife, an area which is just exploding with distilleries. You've got these guys, you've got Eden Mill, you've got King's Barnes, which we loved, Lindor's Abbey. Just incredible whiskey coming out of this very specific area of the Lowlands, really setting things alight. It is 56.4% ABV. It is natural colour, it is non-chill filtered, and the barrel used to hold Heaven Hill bourbon, which is a favourite bourbon of mine, so that's always good to know as well. The people who picked this, they are some of our online team who you might not see a lot of, Natalie, Rona, Chris and Neil. I've picked some Whisky Shop exclusives with Neil in the past. I trust the man's palate to death, as I do with Natalie, Rona and Chris as well. They wouldn't be allowed to pick something like this if they didn't know what they were talking about. It's a family-run distillery. It's a literal farm. They only distill twice a year, once in winter, once in summer, and hard to get hold of. I think this retailed for about 165 if you could get hold of it. I think that's the average price for one now. Let's not even talk about what the secondary market is for these things. Typically, I'm a bit on top of people who sell things for auction because I don't think it's particularly good. But this year, times are tough. Some people have had to sell stuff. I think these, on average, no matter which one it is, if it's a single barrel, sell for 4 times their retail price. Some of them averaging as high as £800 to £1,000 a bottle. So yeah, there's that whole thing with Daftmill too. We'll get onto the giveaway at the end, but first of all, I just want to smell this, taste this, and give you a very honest score of it. So first of all, the smell. It's got some heat to it. It's 56.4%. It's not something to be toyed with. But in a similar vein to the 46% release that I tried at a tasting at the end of last year. So much lemon. Really rounded, soft lemon rind, lemon peel, lemon zest, whatever you want to call it. It's something we've mentioned a lot in the last couple of reviews, but apple, it is just abundant in this thing. Big, ripe, green apples, really juicy and full of juice. Juicy and full of juice? Juicy and full of flavour. The barrel, it's kind of a 50-50 moment. It's giving some interesting flavours, but it's not overriding it. I don't smell a lot of really intense, over-the-top oaky notes on this. There's a really nice note of banana kicking around in the background. And there's a kind of softer honey, really kind of unusual like powdered almond, sugared almond nuttiness from it as well. But like with most Lowlands, be them cask strength or not, it's vibrant, it's grassy. There's some really lovely fresh citrus, spring, summer flavours coming off the top of this. Taste-wise. It's like the most intense Lowland whiskey I've ever tried. A lot of people really jumped on the Daftmill bandwagon because it was very reminiscent of Rosebank for them. I've only tried a couple of Rosebanks and I didn't really like them. I've said in the past that myself and triple distilled Scottish whiskey just don't particularly get on. I never saw what was so great about it. Other than the fact it was a closed distillery, I never thought the whiskey was fantastic. This, however, being double distilled, the hit of flavour, as with most cask strength single barrels that are like, you know, shop exclusives, those things are picked because they stand out from a bunch. And this thing is huge. It leads the way with those big lemony apple notes, and then all of this big round barrel spice comes in from the side. It is pretty potent. That brings in a more sort of enhanced version of that nutty powdered sugar almond sort of taste. And then from the other side of your palate, you get this wealth of honey, butter, slightly fudgy, slightly toffeed as well. Yeah, and then the finish, big and dry, nice and spicy. Not particularly bourbon driven. It tastes like Scotch whiskey. I know that seems silly to say because it is Scotch whiskey, but when you talk about single barrels from bourbon casks which have sat in it for 14 years, that should be particularly barrel driven, and it's not. The spirit still has quite a nice influence over it. It's grassy, it's light. It's what I expect from a cask strength Lowland. I tried a cask strength Glenkinchie a couple of months ago. Very similar to this. Nice, bright, vibrant, but with loads of flavour to it. One more taste, see if we can kind of pick anything out. Tongue's getting used to the alcohol more now. Quite classical, nice bit of caramel in there. Nice and thick, really kind of mouth coating. But the big thing with this is the finish. Like, it leaves such a lasting impression. 5-6 years ago, you talk about Lowland whiskey, and there's really only 2 distilleries in there, Glenkinchie and Auchentoshan. They do very specific things, people love them, but for people who really like really intense, over-the-top whiskies, you kind of walked away from it a little bit. Probably wasn't your cup of tea. The Lowlands now is so rich with these distilleries which are making single cask stuff, things that aren't as hard to get as this. But the finish on this is, you know, it's almost like a Highland whiskey. It's big, it's peppery, it's not particularly oak driven. And that nice, round, spicy spirit really kind of cleansing the edges of it all. I think that walks with like an easy 9. I think it's delicious. The first time I tried it, it did bowl me over to quite a degree, let alone the fact I get to talk about the bottle alone. But the most important part now is this giveaway. So the score is a 9. As you can see, the fill level was about here. I've tried a little bit beforehand, plus what's in this review, and the cameraman's had a little bit too, so let's take that down. We have given some to some of this shop's particularly good customers who weren't able to get hold of a bottle, and there's a short list of people who I need to give a sample of this to, just as a thank you for being good friends and whatnot. So that still leaves quite a large amount of this bottle left to give away, and I will happily send to anywhere in the UK, Europe, Republic of Ireland, etc. Shipping to America will be quite difficult. I think it's like £70 per package. Canada, I love all of you to bits, I love your country, but trying to send booze to you guys is like impossible, so I apologise in advance. Same for the Far East too. So unfortunately, this competition is really available for like people who live in the UK, the Republic of Ireland, and kind of mainland Europe. So I do apologise for those of you that are cut off to this. It's really sorry, it's just a postage situation more than anything. I would like you, the kind people who watch this channel, to either, in this video, leave a comment underneath about a video you really like, a point which made you want to subscribe to the channel, a bit of good feedback. 2020 has been a rough year, let's kind of get the positive feed going about whiskey and all the things we love. Or vice versa, if you want to do something on Instagram, my Instagram handle isn't Whiskey Wednesday. That page does exist, but it's not me. They must have got there before us. It's just my name, so it's PDWYER92. Find me on Instagram, you'll see my face and all the posts. Message me on there about it. We'll do like a feed about it, make sure everything gets sort of, you know, retyped and recast and I'll pick the best ones, the ones that I think are the people who are most passionate about it, the ones who are really kind of telling me what they love about whiskey and what they like about this channel. And you will receive a wonderful sample of this in the post, as long as I can get it to you, hopefully before the end of the year. But yeah, we're going to give all this away because it's such a treat, and I can't think of anyone who's reviewed Daftmills. I think Aquavita's done a few. But yeah, the opportunity to be given this for free, and then the opportunity to talk about it and score it. But I want to share this with you all because Lord knows everyone deserves it right now, to try something really rare and really special, and something which is already sold out, and chances are most of it will be sold on the secondary market anyway. So this is your chance to try it. Check out the Instagram, I'll say it again, it's PDWYER92 on Instagram, or just leave a comment underneath. If I think the comment's particularly good, I'll probably contact you directly. Does YouTube still have a message service? I'm honestly unaware. If not, I'll try and find you somewhere, or to say I'll contact you, send me your email through this email, etc, etc. But yeah, this is your opportunity to try something really good, and we've never done a giveaway before, so let's jump on there. But thank you all very much for watching. This was the W Club Daftmill 14-year-old exclusive. We gave it a 9. It's delicious, it's powerful, it's everything which the Lowlands is pushing out of its box and trying to be. And yeah, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week. Cheers.